This is a shorter video this week. I have 12 clips in here from the Pony DC Truck Stop game from US Open. I think these are all throwing clips. There is some offense, but I mostly am focused on the throws in those offenses. This is a swing, so I don't know that I've talked very much about swings in any of these videos, but we're just going to think about what does a good swing look like when we watch this clip. Truck Stop's entering their end zone set. Here we're catching the disc with some momentum. We're going to very quickly look at how, let's just pause for a second and reflect on the very first video that we looked at this fall. Already, like very early in the stall count, this person's looking diagonally across the field. They're playing expansively. They're seeing everything. They can see this person now. This is the person who they're going to eventually throw it to. Look at how their field of vision is able to pick them up. They're getting a lot of information. So this player's being forced forehand. He wants to throw a swing, get the disc to the right-hand side of his body. That's, he's trying to do a little shimmy to get the mark moving. He wants to beat the mark to the left. So I'm going to move the disc to the right-hand side of my body. I'm going to get it past my body. I'm going to get it outside. Look at how close the mark is to the thrower right now. The mark has compressed a lot of space. The mark is kind of winning in this moment. But as soon as this thrower shimmies across, look at the space creation the thrower got just with taking a good angle with his pivot, an expansive angle on the pivot to get away, to give himself the space that he needs to throw. I want people to reflect on, what would you have felt the need to do as a thrower? Would you have felt like, oh, I have to put it on them? Or would I have done what this guy does and throw it out into space and let them do all the work? I think a lot of us feel like we have to throw it at the person, and we very rarely throw it out in front for the person like that. I want all of us to now reflect on, hey, as a receiver, what would I have done? If the disc is coming from here, would I have just stared this way? Would I have gotten stuck going back to where the disc came from? Or would I have done what this person is about to do and get my head over and kind of continue to play expansively, continue to let the momentum of the disc go, see how this person turns and just immediately is looking over there. I think a lot of really good fundamentals in this clip, something we can all learn from. So an example of Pony running their 2-3 split stack. So their 2 is horizontally stacked up. So they have a person over here on the sideline. There's 1, and here's the other, there's 2. And then 3, 1, 2, 3. So this discraft here, where this word discraft is in the middle of the field, so you can get a sense of their spacing. As this person picks up the disc, he's just going to center it and get out of there. The point of getting out of there is to pull his defender with him, trying to get this defender here out of that space so that this thrower here can have a big lane to look at with throws, right? So this thrower wants to attack this half of the field, and we want to get poached defenders out of his way and let it just be 1v1 thrower versus mark. You're going to see this person is setting up they're doing the deep drive cut. So they are coming with the deep move, and then the other person's going to come under, and then this person eventually will work his way back. So we can watch this all unfold here. Drives deep, there's the undercut. This undercut gets looked off. So now our deep driver is coming back under, and there's the break throw that I talked about, right? So if this reset person was still over here and his defender was poaching in this lane, all of a sudden this break mark throw becomes way more difficult. But because he drove up the line, because he got out of there, there's lots of space for our thrower, 1v1 against the mark, lots of space here for this. This number 4 here, he was the top of the 3 back. If we back it up here, he's top of the 3, walking, giving his teammates time and space. I talk about this a lot in the fall, give your teammates time and space to work. So he's waiting, right? So this person here was initially part of the 2. We're still giving him time and space here, still giving him time and space. As he drives deep, right here, 4 is recognizing, okay, this guy's driving deep, he's leaving the space. My person is probably going to help off and pick up on this deep. So 4 is reading that and immediately taking it. So that's a good job by 4 here. Look at how 4 doesn't even set anything up, right? Walking. His teammate drives, his defender's poaching. Okay, now I'm going to run in to collect the easy under. Boom. Good job of giving time and space, and also just waiting for your teammate to get past him, right? So he's waiting, and in this moment, he lets the teammate get past him before he just comes under off of momentum, and I think that's really good. Here we're going to just see a really nice throw. This is a break side continue cut. This one is drifting positively upfield. We talk a lot about, here I'll draw this out for you. We talk a lot about getting negative, kind of like that. So a perfectly flat cut would be like that. And this person is about to go positive upfield. So we don't really preach this positive, but it works out for them here, mostly because the throw is really good. It's a very nice throw from the thrower. If we back it up, and we can catch a pretty good still frame and get a sense for their extension. Nice pump fake. Look at the extension here in the arm, right? If I'm looking at shoulder, elbow, and disc, I'm seeing shoulder, elbow, hand, disc. Phenomenal extension. Look at all of that. Look at this little triple threat in the legs. You know, this is not like a big step out or anything. This is just balanced, 2 legs under you, triple threat position. I think that's a really good throw in 2 of the break space. And that's good offense from Pony. So they went from deep in their own end zone to past half field. So middle of their end zone here, 1 throw, 2 throws, and just 3 throws to get them to flip the field, get across half field. Now they can work into their end zone set and finish this one off. I show a lot of good hucks in these clips, and I thought it'd be helpful to show a bad huck. So here's a thrower being forced forehand. They're being forced into the sideline. This is trap side. We've got a person making a strong deep cut move towards the end zone, and he's going to put this up. And we can get a pretty good sense here for what the thrower did wrong. So he skyballs it. Obviously, it would be nice if this person had driven it a little bit more, but they're also aiming for the sideline here. If you look at the leverage his receiver has, right, here's his person, here's the defender. The thrower was shooting at the USA Ultimate logo. I think the offensive player would have had leverage the whole way, could have boxed this person out and brought it home. But instead, this throw is sent to the sideline, and it sails, and it even curves out of bounds. Nobody has a chance there, right? There's nothing your receiver can do to help you out if you're sending the ball out of bounds. That's an example of a throw I think I see us throw a lot, where we are shooting for the sideline instead of the middle of the field, and then our receivers just have no chance to help us out. So here's a good huck. We're going to see Pony come down, catch this in cut. Again, being forced forehand, they're being forced into the sideline. This throw goes up. We got a player with leverage, a player with open space. Think about where this disc is going. Think about the placement here, right? So in the previous example, the person shot for that. I think we have a lot of people on our team that like to shoot for that line there. This one's being placed here. If it was placed over here, it also would have worked, right? There's nobody helping over here. There's nothing stopping from this player from kind of just drifting over here and catching it. But this ball is really flat and kind of put out to space. Just let the person run onto it and go catch it. This is a really nice throw, I think. We'll back it up and watch it again. Watch how quickly this person turns, recognizes, shoots. Good touch, out into space, out in front of the receiver. Let them run it down, let them do the work. Here's a huck from Truck Stop. And this is very similar to one that I made a big deal about in the Machine Bravo footage. But here's just a really small step to the side. Think about the step to the side instead of forward. Drop your hips, load your legs, create a lot of action in your knees. Just get really, really strong in your base and throw that bad boy as flat as you possibly can. It's the exact same throw from the Machine Bravo footage. So you can go back and compare and contrast those two. Look at the shape on this disc. Would you have thrown it with that same shape? Think about the placement with this. Would you have thought to yourself, well, I have to throw it here, so therefore I'm going to look it off and not try to throw it at all? The placement is over here. Remember that the thrower started on the other sideline. So this throw is going from this sideline all the way over here. This is just a monster bomb. Out in front of the receiver, let them go make the play. I think that's a really good throw. Here's Pony doing pit drill in the wild. I just like throwing these things in there just so we can have some motivation when we're doing pit drill to recognize that, like, hey, these cuts do show up in the game and they are worth practicing. So if we think about pit drill big picture, you might have ran an upline here, and then you would have probably thrown the dishy to here, and then you would run across and finish over there, and then this person's going to throw you a dishy, and then this person is going to run up the line. So this is going to be that inside throw. he's going to pump fake the outside throw would be a forehand in this example. He's going to pump fake that, come back to that inside backhand. So this is an example of inside throw pit drill when I ask you to throw the inside throws. So here's that player going up the line. There's that outside throw pump fake. We can watch it here slow. Right there, show that outside throw, get the disc on the other side of your body, bring it across, throw that inside throw to the upline runner, get it in front of them. That's a good example of pit drill showing up in the wild. A good example of why, it's worthwhile to get good reps when we're doing pit drill. We're just going to look at a shimmy move here. So here truck stop is, let's back it up. Truck stop's moving towards the break side here. We can see this mark is getting flat. So this is a forced backhand that this thrower is dealing with. I'll slow it down. I really like this player's shimmy move. So here they're neutral. If I handed them a basketball, you'd be like, oh, that's just triple threat. They could dribble, they could pass, they could shoot. Look at their legs. They're dropping their knees a little. Their knees are bent a little bit. They got their hips down. They look athletic. They just look neutral. They're ready to attack in a lot of directions. Bring that disc all the way across your body. Get the disc across your body. So here he gets it all the way to his left-hand side. He could release the backhand if he wanted. Bring the disc all the way to the other side of your body, right? So bring that disc from the left side of your body to the right. Boom. That's a really nice shimmy and a really good example of just a move you can use to quickly give yourself enough space. Watch this again. Disc all the way, all the way. Opens just enough up so you can get the throw off. I like this one a lot because Pony's coming out in kind of a different set than they used to. This is their side stack. They get a little creative with the shape of their side stack, but they have some kind of play here set up. And you'll see that the first two players just start sprinting off through their play. And this third player, look at how he's just got his head up and he's reading the whole field. And he's understanding, oh, truck stop's doing something weird, right? They got a poach defender just here, completely committed to these under poaches. We've got some over the top. This person's pointing off screen. There is some defender over to the top there. This guy's working on that. We've got a sag here and we've got this. If I don't think it's a crazy stretch to say, okay, we've got this defender, and this defender together. They are trying to form still that V concept. It's not as clean or as tight as a V as we're used to seeing from some other clips, but there's going to be a soft spot in the middle of the V, and this number 12 recognizes that. And look at how he just walks into the space, right? Let's back it up. Watch 12 here. He's just head up. Oh, look, there's no one in that space. There's an empty hole right here. Let me walk. And look, if you have a good thrower that can get it past the throw, you can hit right in the middle of that V. You can throw right through the middle of the poaches. So just another example of, hey, when we see those sag poaches, when we see that V formation, there's a soft spot in the middle of it. Let me just walk there. Boom. Now we have momentum. Now we're through. Now we can start playing offense. Now we can start playing a little more free. Here we're going to see truck stop deal with some poaches. So as we go, they catch this up line. They're getting into the end zone set. This defender here is not going to go with his person. He's just going to pick his head up and start playing under defense. So he's poaching all unders. He's trying to pick up just the next best threat for this person. Truck stop's got to deal with him just playing free safety in the middle of the lane. So this guy's just driving him out, and he gets it like this. There's going to be that soft spot. This is not a perfect example of that V. This person's locked in. They're not poaching. This person is poaching. But we can think about, hey, whenever there is somebody poaching in the lane like that, there's probably going to be a soft spot right here. And the key is that we need a thrower that can beat their mark to this spot, right? This is not like the easiest throw. You do have to beat your mark to this space. But if this guy can recognize, hey, there's a soft spot here, and my thrower can break it to me, we can get the disc through this space and keep attacking. And that's what happens right there. So really good throw from this thrower. Let's watch it in slow-mo. Notice how they just drop their knee and get low. Look at how this knee goes all the way to the ground. I'll draw it out for you guys so we can make sure we're all seeing it together. Left knee is all the way on the ground. Look at that left foot. Look at that left hip. Look at the right knee. The right leg is pretty impossible to see, but just dropping low, getting low, beating your mark into that space. That soft spot has been there in many clips that I've shown you. Just needed somebody who's smart enough to fill it, and you need a thrower that is confident enough to get it in there, and all of a sudden we can start breaking these defenses down. Here's a huck that I love from Pony. So Pony's going to catch this disc there on the sideline, and I think they're going to be forced backhand here so we can see it. This mark is a backhand force. He's forcing this person into the sideline. He's forcing him to throw a backhand. When we watch this disc come out, a couple things to talk about. First of all is the shape. Would you have thrown that shape, or would you have put a way more aggressive blade on it? Would you have felt the need to kind of throw it into this space over here? Think about the placement that this person, he shot it all the way over here, right? Remember that he started on this white sideline here. So this throw came from here and is coming all the way across the field. This is a fully diagonal throw. The shape is pretty flat. He's not using aggressive edge to get that to come over here. He's just throwing it pretty flat across the field. It's a monster bomb. Look at how flat that is. Look at how much touch and space that is. Let your receiver just get out there and get it out in front of your receiver and let them go get it. Think about placement, right? Would I have shot it over here? He shot it over here. His throw is better than yours. This is another one of those hucks with a little bit of that alternative footwork. So I really like this angle, which is the biggest reason that I put it in. But if we think about most of our huckers, we feel the need to step forward into our hucks like that. Here you're about to see this person step this way, and I'll slow it down so we can get a good look at it. So here we go. If I gave this person a basketball, they wouldn't look crazy, right? That's triple threat. He could dribble, he could pass, he could shoot. He's kind of neutral in the position. He's got the disc in the middle of his body. Look at where his right foot is at this point, right? D-I-S-C, it's in between the C and the R. As he steps, he's just got it right on the R. So he probably started here and he moved here. That's a really, really small step. He's just dropping his hips. He's loading his legs, really strong base. Get that thing out. He's got some edge on this disc, but he's got it in front of his receiver, right? So pay attention to the placement. Think about how he's thrown for the logo, and he's got it in front of the receiver. So the receiver has the opportunity here to run onto it. The receiver doesn't have to sky anyone. The receiver gets to run onto it. Think about, would I have felt the need to throw this at the sideline over here? Would I have felt the need to put him over in this place trying to toe the line? That disc is just out in front. Go get it. We're going to see another good angle of the throw. So here's that foot, right? That foot is stepping from this red paint into the white paint here. So it's not that much of a movement. What is that, like a 1 to 2 foot step? It's not a massive step. Look at the legs, just dropping the hips, loading that right leg. Get that disc out in front of the receiver, let them run onto it, let them do all the work. I think that's a really good throw. This clip is just a simple swing. It's a really simple clip, but I like it a lot. And we're going to slow it down here because there's a few things I just want to point out. So we're taking advantage of a pretty lazy defender here. This guy's just drifting in the lane. He's probably thinking to himself, how can I poach? How can I help? He's allowing a lot of space to happen. Look at how early in the stall count this thrower is already looking to the swing, already looking to the reset. If we back it up and go full speed, 1, 2, 3, he's already, boom, stalling. It's probably stalling 3. He's already looking at the reset. He's identifying, hey, this defender is not paying attention at all. My guy has a lot of space over here. Think about placement of the disc, right? If I throw it over here, it's going to be a completion. If I drew like a little line here. So this, I think that the defense kind of has the advantage along this whole line in this space. And the offense has the advantage in this whole space here. And I think that a lot of us would have tried to throw a swing right into here where it's 50-50. We're not totally sure. We would have let that defense have a shot at this ball. But in this example, this thrower is just going to place that ball way out into space. Look at how the receiver has to turn his hips. Right here we've got hips. Here we've got hips going up line. Boom. Open your hips up. Now we're coming. Think about that train track thing that all your high school coaches taught you. Train track hips going away from the thrower. Let your receiver drift away from the thrower. Open up space. We went from the sideline. This discraft here is in the middle of the field, right? So we went from the sideline to past midfield. That's a huge throw. It opens the field up. It's an expansive throw. It's a good example of a swing, and it's a good example of how swings can go a long way to making an offense good.